Model railroading is a year-round hobby, but typically we do the bulk of our work in the fall, winter, and spring months. So what is there to do during the summer? Turns out there's quite a lot you can do during the summer, and we're going to talk about that on Coffee and Trains. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Coffee and Trains. Before we begin, I am drinking a local coffee out of Elwood City, Pennsylvania, Hunter Brothers Coffee. It was sent to me by Scott Eric Cantilano, who is one of the guys working on DCC++ EX, and it is absolutely delicious. This is their Colombian Supremo. So thank you very much, Scott, for sending this. And as always, I take it black with 2 sugars. So today I want to talk about why they call the summer break in model railroading. Now, like I said in the intro, model railroading is a year-round hobby, but we do a lot of our work in the fall, winter, and early spring. And part of the reason for that is really because if you're like me, you have your railroading space in an unair-conditioned part of your house. And if you're like me and you live in the southeastern United States, it gets pretty toasty in the summer to the point where I'm usually doing my work on my railroad at night or really early in the morning, or when I'm shooting these videos early in the morning, just to avoid the heat and so you don't see me dripping sweat and I can comfortably drink hot coffee out here. So what can you do in the summer months to stay active in model railroading to make it not just a seasonal hobby? So let's go over 5 things that you can do during the summer that are things you can do to improve your model railroad or to stay active in the hobby. My first thing is to plan. Now, there is always planning to be done with model railroading, and there's 3 basic types. One, you can plan your railroad if you are looking to build one, because the fall and the winter are definitely a great time to actually build a model railroad because they can be pretty labor intensive. You can also plan expansions to your model railroad because, let's be real, no model railroad is ever complete. And you can also, number 3, is plan out your purchases so you can start saving for them as well. Now, I've got a couple videos on all of this. I just released one on how to plan a model railroad in a Scarm. You can check that out right up here. And I've also got one on how to budget for your model railroad. And you can go ahead and get your budget going and plan that out this summer as well. And I've got a link to that video right here. And both those are linked in the description below. So number 1 is plan for the future of your model railroad. Number 2 is something that you can do to get a head start on your work in the fall and the winter. If you know what models you're going to have on your model railroad, go ahead and start building them. Take them into a nice quiet space that's got plenty of air conditioning and go ahead and start building models. You can work on your detailing. You can even buy several kits so that you can practice. This is a great time to just sit there and hyper focus on making those models look as good as you want, and buy some ones that aren't that expensive so that you can practice on them as well. And so in case you mess up, you're not going to be very disappointed. And if you do great, then you've got another model for your model railroad. But go ahead and work on building some models. It's a great thing to do in the summer that doesn't require you being at your railroad. You can be at your workbench, or if you have a table that you can work at where it's air conditioned, it's a great thing to do. Number 3 is to take some time to visit some other railroads, ones that are really publicly displayed. It's really not that hard to find some, depending on where you are, that you can go and look at. I have several that are at places that I know I can go and check out that clubs have them on display for people to come and see. You can also plan trips to things like, if you're in Europe, you can go to Miniature Wonderland in Hamburg. If you're in the US, there's Entertainment Junction outside of Cincinnati and places like that. Plus, there's large clubs, especially out in California, that have public displays, and they have days where you can come in and check out their stuff. So check out clubs, see if there's railroads that you can come take a look at, and plus you're going to have guys there that you can pick their brains and figure out things that you can do for your model railroad. Number 4 is something that I need to be better about personally, and that is to tidy up your space, and not just clean it, not just get everything clean, but really get it organized. Take this time that you're not going to be doing heavy work on your model railroad, especially if it's out in an air-conditioned spot, and go ahead and take the time to organize your stuff and get it ready and get your space ready for when you have time to sit down in the fall and the winter and the early spring and work on your trains. Get your stuff all organized, get all your tools organized, get all your pieces organized, all your materials organized, get that ready to go for when real model railroading season starts. And number 5 is to play. Now, when I say play, I mean if you have trains and you have the ability to run them on track, just play around, have fun with them, figure out what works if you're looking to build an operation session, figure out what doesn't, but just play with your trains. All of us love watching trains go around. Now, some of us also love doing operations, but all of us love seeing trains run. So take time to play with your trains. You know, we've gone through talking about the appeal of model trains, which I'll link right up here. And those, the real thing with the appeal of model trains is a lot of us, it's a way for us to keep playing and stay young. So don't forget to play with your trains. And the summertime is a great time to just sit back, relax, and run your trains and play with them. All right, so let's talk about some of the coffees that you guys are drinking. Like I said, I'm drinking that Hunter Brothers from Elwood City, Pennsylvania. Let's see here. The Mill Run and Western Railway says, my daughter and I watch Coffee and Trains every Thursday evening. Love it. I love the fact that you watch that with your daughter. Way to share it with the next generation. We drink Folgers Decaf with French Vanilla Creamer. Can't go wrong with a classic like that. Street Rail Studio says that he is just drinking whatever Aldi's coffee he has while he is riding the exercise bike. Now that is a challenge right there. I don't know if I could drink coffee and exercise at the same time. Brian Page, Model Train, says that he is drinking Black Rifle Coffee Company's Just Black Medium Roast, and he takes it black. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for telling me the coffees that you're drinking. And if you want to send me a coffee like this one right here, you can do that. You can email me at ddrrcommunity@gmail.com. That email is in the description. And also tell me what coffees you're drinking down in the description below. I do love trying local brews. So if you have one you want to send me, we can definitely connect and you can do that. I also want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. They are listed right here. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. There are a lot of cool things going on over there. They get a lot of sneak peeks and future looks at what's coming to the channel. I just did a big talked about what I'm developing for the channel to talk about to those guys. So definitely a cool place if you want to see what's coming up on the channel in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates like this video. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.